Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News.
Good afternoon. We're about to hit 12:30. Bill Bryant and Rebecca Smith is in for Barb today with the latest news.
A crime alert this afternoon. Investigators warning drivers after a string of car break-ins.
They happened yesterday in a Madison County neighborhood. Police think they now have a suspect. WKYT Sam Smith is tracking that investigation, and it's our top story at 12:30.
I'm in the Battlefield Estate subdivision in Madison County, where state police and the sheriff's office received several reports of vehicle break-ins. Those break-ins are believed to have happened sometime between midnight and 5 a.m. yesterday. I'm told all of the targeted cars were not locked, which deputies say is typical. They say thieves sometimes go around just checking to see if a car is unlocked. Between the sheriff's office and Kentucky State Police, there were about 7 break-in reports. In one case, a credit card was stolen. Deputies say that card was used to buy a PlayStation 4 and a video game at the Richmond Walmart. Surveillance footage captured the man and his car. Officials believe he could be behind these break-ins. Officials want to remind everyone to lock your car doors.
And you know, we can't stress enough that if you park your vehicle at home at night, please make sure that it is locked up. Obviously, don't leave any kind of valuables in your car.
If you recognize the man in the footage, contact Kentucky State Police or the Sheriff's Office. Any tips can be made anonymously. In Madison County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Sam, thank you. If the man in the footage is caught, he could face multiple charges, including theft and fraud. We're getting a better look now at the damage from a fire at Lexington's Thoroughbred Center. Weddings, proms, and conferences planned for the venue won't be affected because they're being held in different parts of the property. The fire did destroy the Central Kentucky Tack and Leather Supply Store, as well as several offices and 2 apartments.
We hate to lose the building, and we feel really bad for Central Kentucky Tack and Leather because they've lost, you know, a lot of their inventory and their business from here, and then the 2 students that were in the apartment lost basically everything they had. So we feel really, really bad for them.
It took more than 60 firefighters to put out the flames yesterday. Firefighters say a burning candle apparently sparked the fire.
We are tracking the investigation into a case of vandalism at a Lexington park. Parks and Recreation says someone pulled up and damaged between 10 and 12 plants at Green Acres Park on LaSalle Road. The damage will cost about $500. One school is closed today, not because of the snow, but because of the flu. Officials at the Model Laboratory School in Richmond noticed a decrease in attendance last week. Those numbers only continued to drop this week. Officials decided it was best to close and clean and disinfect the school.
We've shut down everything, and the facilities crew from Eastern Kentucky University is here, and they are disinfecting everything, every room, every classroom, every office, everywhere.
Once the school is disinfected, officials will make a decision about whether to reopen tomorrow. Well, many of us, of course, woke up to that coating of snow around the area.
Yeah, and if you want to forget about the wintry weather that we've been having, here's a good option for you. The WKYT Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show begins a little later this afternoon at Rupp Arena. And WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live there now with an early check of the forecast and a little look around. Hey, Micah.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Yeah, I mean, you already hear the zip lining. The guys are really going at it, just testing everything out. Remember, it opens at 2 p.m. later on this afternoon. Admission is $10 for adults. Let's check out your weather and see what's going on. Look, the rest of the afternoon is just fine. Remember, this opens up at 2 p.m. So once you get off work, come on down. We'd love not just today, but all the way through Sunday when it closes down at 5 p.m. on Sunday. You can see the 20s and also partly cloudy skies. 24-hour planner shows that we're really not going to rise that much more. We'll be in the mid-20s. That's about it. Maybe even some upper 20s down south, but all in all, it's just a cold day. We'll stay dry throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. Frigid temperatures, I mean, that's just the only way we can put it. 16 degrees. And you can see the coldest day is today, but sunny and really, really warm. Yeah, I said warm, not mild. As we head toward the weekend, makes you want to go out and fish a little bit. Maybe not that warm, but it's getting there, okay? We'll go over the latest forecast and talk little nuggets that you need to know about the Sport Boat and Recreation Show in about 10 minutes.
Hey, we'll see you then. A deputy's good deed helped a homeless man get through last night's cold and snow. Clark County Deputy Casey Cottle was called to a grass fire overnight on Rockwell Road. A homeless man started the fire to keep warm, but it got out of control. Rather than arrest him, Deputy Cottle decided to try to help him out.
Which stated he was cold and homeless. He didn't have any money. I then took him to the next county over and gave him some cash out of my wallet, and I dropped him off at a place so he could get some food.
Deputy Cottle brought the man to Hamburg in Lexington. He says he didn't want him to have to walk here in the cold. A Kentucky student's first aid class may have helped him to save a life. Jared Combs spotted a car upside down in a ditch in Wolfe County while driving from Hazard to Moorhead. He and others pulled a woman out of the car. Combs used a first aid kit that he had in his car to help her until an ambulance got there.
Trying to make him feel comfortable. I was like, all right, we're going to get you cleaned up. We're going to patch you up here until the paramedics get here. Everything's going to be fine.
Combs is a sophomore at MSU, and he plays for the Eagles golf team.
Well, the latest Kentucky State Police gun auction racked up more than $120,000 for law enforcement agencies across the state. Auctions like the one held last week happen every month in Kentucky, every other month, I should say. Guns confiscated by local police agencies in Kentucky are sent to state police to be auctioned off to federally licensed gun dealers. The guns that are auctioned have most likely been involved in a crime. Commonwealth Attorney Ray Larson wants the ones involved in murders destroyed instead of sold.
Don't auction those. Why? Because the families of victims or the victims of assaults with firearms don't want those guns back on the street.
WKYT's Miranda Combs investigates these auctions where police stand to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's on WKYT News at 6 this evening. Well, researchers say there's a potential game changer in the treatment of stroke patients.
And lung cancer is now the leading cause of cancer death in women. Ebony Williams has the details in this Better Living report.
Lung cancer now surpasses breast cancer as the leading cause of cancer deaths among women in developed countries. That's according to the American Cancer Society. Lung cancer has long been the leading cause of cancer death among men, but because women started smoking in greater numbers later than men, it took longer for the cancer cases to spike. A worldwide study of 100,000 women discovered 2 new genetic variants associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. The variants are linked to estrogen receptor-positive breast cancer, the most common form of the disease. Researchers say screening women for all the known variants could help determine which patients face the highest risk. And a new study shows it is feasible for suspected stroke patients to receive treatment in the ambulance rather than wait until they get to the hospital. When it comes to stroke, every minute counts to prevent death and brain damage. Researchers at UCLA found paramedics were able to treat almost 75% of patients within the first hour of their stroke, when there is the greatest amount of brain to save. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Ebony Williams, CBS News, New York.